Hello everybody, and welcome to the Loot on the Movie Guy channel, which is probably one of the coolest channels on YouTube, you know. I'm gassing myself up way too much. If you tuned into this video, you are watching Movie Time, which is a series on my YouTube channel, which is awesome. The Loot on the Movie Guy channel. Glad you pulled up. Where we talk about movies, both new and old. Any movie I watch that catches my interest in any way that I feel like talking about in a YouTube video, I just talk about. So it's pretty much the series. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about The Batman 2022, which happens to be one of my favorite comic book movies ever, and also might just be my favorite portrayal of the my favorite portrayal of the Caped Crusader. So yeah, let's get to the plot synopsis because I am wasting so much time talking right now. Okay, plot synopsis time. Okay, so here is going to be a full synopsis or breakdown of the plot of The Batman 2022 from yours truly, aka me, aka Ludon. Alright, during Halloween, the mayor of Gotham is murdered by a mysterious masked killer, aka the Riddler, who's going for this almost Zodiac killer type thing where he's leaving clues at each crime scene. After Batman deals with a group of small criminals, he goes to the crime scene because the bat signal is put in the air by Gordon, who's not commissioner yet. He will eventually get that role, of course, but he's not there yet. Pretty much every character is at the beginning of their rope in this universe. So Batman goes to the crime scene where the Riddler has left him a message, clearly, like a little note that says to the Batman. So the Batman grabs it, finds some cryptographed in the note, which he has to uncover, right? He learns about clues, and eventually one of those clues leads him to the Penguin, right? Basically, the entire thing the Riddler's cooking is trying to expose the seedy underbelly of Gotham. He's trying to expose why everything is the way it is. He's trying to expose why the people in power, he's basically showcasing that the people in power are all very evil and just hiding it. They're all two-faced, they're all horrible essentially, and the Riddler is using his own sense of the Riddler's using his own genius and his own power to expose that. He's murdering people here and there. He's basically just causing havoc. But let's go back through the movie scene by scene or plot point by plot point. So once the Batman realizes that one of these clues leads to the Penguin, he infiltrates the Iceberg Lounge, beats a shit ton of people up once he gets there, meets the Penguin, right? And while he's talking to the Penguin, Selina Kyle walks in, aka Catwoman, and Batman is like, wait, that's probably another clue. So Batman continuously follows her and learns about Annika, who's Selina Kyle's partner in this case. Not partner, they're clearly dating, they have something romantic going on, right? So Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, goes home, talks to Annika, leaves her home in order to go retrieve Annika's passport because the assholes who Annika works for stole it from her or something like that, right? Annika basically has some shady shit going on, and Batman is investigating it with Catwoman, right? He gets to the area, Catwoman's breaking into some shit. Him and Catwoman actually meet for the first time. They clearly have some chemistry. There's a lot of sexual tension between them for a lot of the movie, I'll say that. A clear amount of sexual and romantic tension between them, which is definitely the point, because they're both similar in a lot of ways, but at the same time, Batman is a lot more morally righteous than she is, clearly. Like, I'd say they're both on some level infected by the fucking seedy shittiness of Gotham, but Batman lets it get to him a little bit less because Batman's supposed to be idealistic, and that's what Batman is striving for. He's striving to be a hero. Catwoman, aka Selina Kyle, isn't really looking for that. She's just trying to get by any way she can, and it's a really interesting, their romance is actually probably the most interesting in this than it's been in any other form. I think this movie definitely excels in having probably one of the best versions of the Batman and Catwoman romance I can think of. But yeah, anyways, while Batman and Catwoman are gone, the Commissioner Savage gets captured and murdered by the Riddler, who also posts a video all over the news. Also, one thing I love about the Riddler, he's a Zodiac killer-esque type thing, and that makes it so interesting because it feels like a real serial killer. Plus, he uses social media in a way that feels so eerily realistic that it's kind of not even, it's almost not even fictional, because people have done stuff like this in real life. So it's really fucking scary, and it's a really interesting way to take this character. But yeah, the next day, Bruce comes out of the shadows in order to continue his work as Batman. So he goes to the funeral, right? He goes to the funeral for the mayor in order to see if Riddler's going to be in attendance, during which he encounters the person who's also running up for mayor, Bella Real, I think her name is. And she's this strong-willed woman who's clearly has like the light of Gotham in her eyes, and she's trying to bring back everything. She's a great person, clearly, and she's talking to Bruce, and Bruce is kind of like, nah, I gotta focus up, because Bruce, like I said, is constantly consumed by his work as the Batman, so he's not paying attention to anything else. So at the funeral, Riddler crashes the party, clearly, and Bruce is doing a very bad job at hiding the fact that he's Batman, because he's kind of tweaking, but I don't know. This version of Bruce is just like genuinely, clearly so consumed by his work, he doesn't think about anything else. So Riddler reveals that he's captured the DA, right? And this also comes after, oh shit, I forgot to describe this plot point. Batman and Catwoman were working together to investigate into this for a little bit, but then Catwoman basically abandons Batman at a certain point because Catwoman has a secret connection to Falcone, which is basically, Falcone is like the key to this whole thing, right? And Catwoman has a connection to Falcone that she feels uncomfortable divulging to Batman, so she splits off from that, and Batman has to continue the investigation on his own. So because he continues it on his own, he doesn't really know much about what's going on with the DA anymore. The DA gets jumped by Riddler, and then Riddler just captures the DA. And at the funeral, which is where we're at now, Riddler has the DA crash through a fucking wall with a car coming to the funeral, right? And while everything is going on, all the commotion is going on, basically everyone clears out. A few hours later, the cops have the entire area surrounded. Batman comes in. The Riddler's live streaming to his fans, aka like 300 Redditors. Again, it's so scary how realistic this could be, because I feel like something like this could happen. He's live streaming this, and Batman shows up to help the DA get out of this perilous situation that he's in. He's trying to basically uncoat a bomb that's strapped to the DA's fucking neck, because the DA is gonna die if he doesn't deal with this quickly, basically. But the Riddler, like I said, is looking to expose so much, and he's basically digging into every little seedy thing that every person in power in Gotham has some grasp of, because like I said, Falcone is a crime boss who basically is the key to all this, and they're all secretly connected to Falcone or crime in some way. Riddler's trying to expose that, so Riddler keeps pushing questions towards the DA, and the DA literally says, bro, if I talk, I'm gonna be a dead man regardless. So Batman's like, bro, just talk, just expose it. But of course the DA can't do that, so the DA blows up and Batman gets knocked out. Batman soon wakes up at a police station with Gordon, who's trying to help him get out the police station. The cops are basically all surrounding Batman, and they're like, bro, this dude's insane. Why are we working with him? He messed up the entire investigation. He went inside when we didn't give him clearance to do that. Basically, the cops hate Batman. Like, they all have some very vindictive feeling towards Batman, and it's very prevalent, because every scene with the cops and Batman, the cops are always like, bro, what's this dude doing? Like, you can tell the cops do not fucking like him. So after the whole fiasco at the police station, Batman and Gordon basically are completely on their own. They always have been, but like now they have no assistance from anyone else. From all the evidence they've gathered so far, they have some lead on the Penguin, so they go back to confront the Penguin at one of his various hideouts where they're basically controlling drops or something, because Penguin is just like he's a little goon for Falcone, basically. Falcone is running the drops business, which is basically like a crack business. It's drugs. That's all you need to know. The drops are drugs. So they go to meet up with the Penguin. Catwoman is also there, which is where shit gets a little complicated, because Catwoman's trying to steal from the Penguin while also subconsciously still looking for Annika. And that's when they unzip a body bag, and Annika's body is just there. She's dead. She was murdered by Falcone. And after that, they get shot up a little bit, but Batman has a surprise in store. Basically one of the best scenes in any comic book movie in the past 10 years happens. What I mean is the Penguin and his men get ambushed by Batman and his awesome fucking Batmobile. And one of the most like epic reveals I think I've seen in the theater. I had chills running up and down my spine. They chase a little bit, you know. Batman does his thing. He basically rams after the Penguin on the highway. Penguin kills a shit ton of people. Batman survives though, of course, and Batman finally captures Penguin. After capturing the Penguin, Gordon and Batman interrogate the Penguin and find out that their clue wasn't really right, that they misinterpreted it completely, because neither of them really speak Spanish. But after that, they do more investigation. They're led to an orphanage, right? And the Riddler explains, or basically showcases, that his next victim is gonna be Bruce Wayne. So Batman, of course, is Bruce Wayne, as we all know. So he rushes back home, realizing that Alfred kind of took the fall for him. And by took the fall for him, I mean Alfred got caught in the crossfire. The bomb that was supposed to kill Bruce accidentally went to Alfred, because he was home and Bruce wasn't. After that, the Riddler basically just showcases information about the Waynes, shows how Thomas Wayne hired Falcone to cover up information about Martha, and how Martha Wayne was in and out of mental hospitals for years, which to me also adds another layer to this character that I love, because it hints at something that I've always thought in the back of my head that I don't really see anyone else talk about. That Batman himself is definitely a little mentally ill. I remember reading this comic that was written by the screenwriter of the Batman. It's called Batman Imposter, I believe. Great comic. And in the comic, they diagnose Bruce Wayne with something like PTSD, place him on the autism spectrum, explain that he has acute anxiety disorder or something like that, explain that basically Bruce just has a laundry list of mental health problems, which I found to be something that's definitely a part of the character. Given the fact that he's so dedicated to this, he has to not be all there fully, which I feel like other interpretations touch on, but the fact that this interpretation literally gives you the hint, given his mother was in and out of stuff like that, that just adds a whole new layer of interesting stuff to this plot line, which I love. It's part of the reason why I love this movie so much. After all that stuff is revealed, Bruce does his own investigative work. We get a good few 20 minutes of Bruce Wayne just trying to learn as much about his family as possible, going to Falcone and talking to Falcone, and then going to Alfred, and Alfred finally reassures him, explains that his dad was really a good man who just simply really cared about his family and wanted to protect his family and his reputation at all costs, which led him to turning to Falcone, who's a fucking evil, vindictive, completely. Falcone's a psychotic person. Like, Falcone's first instinct is just to kill. He doesn't really think. He's very set in stone in his way, and Falcone was like, oh, bet. So you told me you had this problem? I'll get rid of it for you. I'll kill him. And Bruce Wayne's dad was like, well, I didn't need to kill him, but Falcone already did it, so there was nothing that could happen. And Bruce Wayne's dad, it's left up in the air, but Bruce Wayne's dad was going to go to the police with it, so we don't really know if Falcone ordered the hit on the parents or if they were just killed by a random person in the alley, which is also super fucking interesting. Like, I really just love how this movie continuously unfolds. It doesn't just have like the central mystery with the Riddler. It has so much other shit thrown in there which continually develop the character of the Batman. But this plot line, oh my god, I just genuinely love this movie, if you can't tell already. Sometime after this whole investigation into his parents, Batman is summoned. Batman and Gordon are both summoned to the Bat Signal by Catwoman, who's interrogating a cop that's under Falcone's payroll. The cop's name is Kenzie. He's a corrupt police officer, and basically they get there and everything is getting revealed at once. You hear a really disturbing voice message, which Annika and how she was murdered, and Catwoman is pretty much like seconds away from killing this dude because she knows he had something to do with this. But Batman is like, we don't kill. Perfect. I fucking love Batman. Oh my god, Robert Pattinson, you were amazing, bro. Please just like give me a kiss or something. That was kind of gay. It's okay though. I love you, Robert Pattinson. Back to the plot synopsis. Catwoman nearly kills the man. She runs away. Batman is like, I'm gonna go after Catwoman, and then after that we're gonna convene on the Riddler, because they now know who the mole is. They know who the rat that the Riddler hinted at earlier is now, so they don't really have to search anymore. It's fucking Falcone, which I kind of said earlier. Sorry, I got ahead of the game a little bit there, but yeah, Falcone's the rat. He's the informant that the cops have been using, because Falcone basically owns the police. And after Thomas Wayne's death, Falcone has owned the police, essentially. So he's gotten away with a shit ton of stuff. Batman basically gets to Falcone's area. I think it's in the Iceberg Lounge, somewhere around there, and he stops Catwoman from killing Falcone. Also, it was revealed that Catwoman is Falcone's daughter, which is the beef that Catwoman had with Falcone in general, because Falcone was never there, because obviously he's a fucking crime boss, wasn't concerned about his child. Falcone tries to kill Catwoman. Catwoman gets the upper hand because Batman shows up, but Batman stops the entire thing, then takes Falcone out. All of the good officers in the Gotham City Police Department come out. They all capture Falcone, but as soon as they bring the rat into the light, which was the clue that Riddler had earlier on, Falcone gets shot and dies by the Riddler. And then they find the Riddler basically chilling in a diner on some Seven type stuff. He gives himself up, basically. The Riddler gives himself up. And after that, they investigate the Riddler's apartment. While in Riddler's apartment, they discover all types of stuff, really. Go through his shit. They find weird shit, essentially, including some of his old live stream material, but they're not able to get in there because they don't know the password. And while he's there, someone essentially tells the Batman, I think one of the other officers finds out that the Riddler wants to speak to the Batman, basically. So Batman leaves the crime scene briefly to go talk to the Riddler. He pulls up, he sits down and has a conversation with the Riddler, and during that conversation, he realizes that he really does not know what the fuck is going on. The Riddler hints at a lot of stuff, but mainly the main thing the Riddler's discussing is that him and Batman are really similar. The Riddler's talking about how glorious his mask is and how awesome Batman's mask is and how he wishes he could see him in his mask, in his glory. They're talking back and forth. Batman's like, I'm nothing like you. You're a degenerate, lonely, sociopath, psychopath, blah, blah, blah. Batman's calling him all this shit. Basically, the Riddler starts tweaking out and he's like, bro, we could have watched it together. We could have watched everything together. Batman's like, what the fuck are you talking about? The Riddler's like, we could have watched everything blow up together, basically. And at that point, well, the Riddler doesn't say that. He doesn't give up, really, because at that point, he's pissed off. So he's like, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you. And Batman gets pissed off, goes back to the crime scene, discovers Riddler's actual plan, which is under the carpet. He discovers that Gotham is about to get blown up, basically, and he can't do shit to stop it. It's already too late, which is another thing I love. I love it when superhero movies go slightly against the trope of the superhero usually beating the bad guy by showing that the bad guy has a trump card or something that the superhero can't fucking stop from happening. For example, the same shit happens in Watchmen pretty much. You think the good guys are gonna win, or at least save the day completely, but there's always something there, something that was already planned that he can't stop it at this point, and just makes this stick out a lot more among superhero movies, period, because of how unique it treats its main character and how unique the story unfolds. Like, oh my god, I love it. But Gotham is flooded. The main center of it, Gotham City Garden, I think it is, basically, I forgot, Gotham Square Garden, like the New York equivalent of that in real life, basically, is flooded completely. All the citizens are there. The mayor-elect is there. She won the mayor position, right? But the kicker is, remember earlier how I said that the cops didn't know the password to Riddler's computer, so they couldn't get in to see the video he made for his fans? Essentially, the Riddler gathered all of his fans together, told them to get guns and like dress up like him and go to the Gotham City Garden and shoot shit up, basically. So that's what they do. And when they're there, they shoot at the mayor. They terrorize a lot of the fucking civilians until Batman pulls up and kicks some ass. And when I say kick some ass, I mean he kicks some ass. He does get his ass handed to him a little bit, but he's been at it for like at least a week, bro. I'm not gonna blame him for getting beat up a little bit. He's been through a lot, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Plus, it's clear that this is only his first year, or he's not an experienced Batman, so he's still going through a lot of the trials and tribulations, clearly. Batman fights a lot of the Riddler's goons, goes crazy, goes to town on a lot of them, but he gets shot, unfortunately, and he's weakened for a good portion of the fight until Catwoman comes up and helps him. Gordon's trying to help him, but Gordon can't really get up there, so Catwoman is mainly helping him out, right? And like I said, their romance feels most palpable in this version, especially compared to other versions like The Dark Knight Rises, for example. It's clear that they actually care about each other when it's moments like these where Catwoman puts her own pride aside and actually grows as a person and decides to help the Batman in this situation. It's especially prominent when he's laying on the floor looking up at her face, and you can tell there's something there, but like she's basically allowing him to be human in that moment, not allowing him to, she's basically saying, calm down, it's okay, you did your job, you can rest now. And then that doesn't last for long, because one of Riddler's goons picks up the Catwoman and starts maybe beating the shit out of her. So Batman tweaks out, takes some adrenaline, and fucking turns that dude's face into pizza. Like, he smashes it in. And then dude wakes up, tells Batman that he's vengeance, and Batman realizes then, he's like, I've been doing this entire Batman thing wrong. I need to actually, instead of being a symbol for fear for the criminals of the city, I need to start being a symbol for hope. I need to be something that people can look out for, not something that people are scared of. Because at the beginning of the film, when he saves the man who's getting jumped by a group of criminals, that man is also terrified of him. And by the end of the film, he's grown to the point where he learns that he needs to be a savior of the people. He needs to help the city grow past its scars, or else it'll be as scarred as him. He needs to help them get over their trauma, which is fucking amazing writing. First of all, just great for the character of Batman, and it just really personifies the entire point of what Batman's supposed to be, which is why I love this movie so fucking much. But yeah, essentially the film ends with Batman saving the people of Gotham. Batman saves the people of Gotham. Gotham is now completely flooded, and the people are basically refugees. It's a very fucked up area, and Batman's doing his best to keep everyone together and to save as many people as he can, because he cares about the city. That's the point. But the film ends with him and Selina Kyle meeting up one last time. Selina's like, I'm gonna get out of the city, you should come with me. And Batman's like, nah, I got a duty to these people, I have to stay here. So they split up, and the movie ends, and Batman looks forward in like the most fucking powerful way ever. He just looks on, right? He's on the motorcycle, he sees Selina leave, and he has a job to do. He has a city to defend, he has people to protect, so he keeps going. And that concludes the synopsis / plot breakdown of the Batman 2022. And yeah, let's get to the sit down segment. Me sitting in front of the camera so you can see my face again if you want to, or if you're into that kind of thing. I don't know. Anyways, yeah. In all honesty, this review is very important to me for a lot of reasons, but honestly, I'll just take it back real quick. I used to have a TikTok page about 2 to 3 years ago in like the early 2020s, which sounds weird because we're in the middle of the 2020s now. It's 2025. Jesus, we're getting old. By we, I mean me, even though I'm like 19, but yeah. That doesn't really matter. Continuing. But I used to have this TikTok page when I was around 15 to 16, and I did movie reviews on there, but they were short form. Pretty much what I do here on YouTube now, just shorter and a little bit more easy to digest. But I realized at a certain point that I wanted to move away from that because I just talk a lot. So I'd prefer to make it a longer video, in all honesty, which is what I ended up doing. Back then, I would review movies here and there whenever they would come out or whenever they would interest me. And when The Batman came out opening weekend, I was 16, promised to like my 1,000-something followers at the time that I would review it. That review never got made, but it's being made now, and it's in YouTube format, which is what I wanted the entire time. So honestly, yeah, this review has been baking in the oven for a minute. But besides that, the film overall fucking blew me away and blows me away every time I revisit it for so many reasons. I just need to dwell on one specific fact though. Batman has always been one of my favorite characters in fiction, period. I just think Bruce Wayne and his relationship with him, like Batman, or the persona of Batman mentally, like just the way in which he embodies that and dedicates his entire life to that. He has, if you think about it, Bruce Wayne really has no fucking life. All he does is focus on Batman. Everything else that pulls him away from that, Bruce Wayne is just a persona. That's not really who he is. Batman is who he is through and through. That's what I feel about the character, and that's what I feel like the best versions of the character embody, and that's what I feel like this embodies perfectly. Robert Pattinson is probably in the suit the most out of any actor who's ever played Batman. He is physically the embodiment of Batman. Like, he's purely dedicated to this persona which he's built. He's built this through all the trauma he's experienced in his life, which I think just makes him so intriguing in general, because he deals with his trauma in probably the most unhealthy way by beating criminals up in the middle of the night. It makes for like one of the most interesting characters in all of fiction, because you're rooting for a crazy person essentially the entire time. And I think Robert Pattinson's performance and the way the character's written in this perfectly embody all of those elements which I just said. This Batman, he's in the shit constantly. He doesn't have a life. He's a hermit essentially. When Bruce Wayne comes out, people are like, oh shit, it's Bruce Wayne. What the hell? We don't see him anyway, because that's I feel like how Bruce Wayne would be in general. But yeah, overall, Robert Pattinson's portrayal of the character is amazing. Like, I think he knocked it out of the park, and I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that. I think honestly, Pattinson put in so much into the performance, he deserves praise 100%. But yeah, overall, I think the Batman is just a master. Like I think the movie overall is honestly just a masterwork at presenting this character and the aspects of this character that really often go underlooked, and I'll get more into that during the voiceover segment. But yeah, I'm sure you're tired of seeing my handsome face. Why am I gassing myself up? I'm pretty handsome though, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, hang on, let me be serious. I'm sure you're tired of seeing my handsome face sitting here talking about the movie, so let's just switch to my voice talking over B-roll and whatnot so you can hear my sexy ass voice. I'm sorry for that. Cut to the voiceover segment now. Yeah, Batman. Okay, this video is already long enough, so I'm gonna try to wrap up my thoughts and how much I love this movie in at least 5 minutes or less. Probably won't happen, might be longer than that, but I'm gonna try my best. So first of all, on a technical level, this movie is fucking amazing. It almost exceeds itself. Like, time after time after time, when you think it's done being so great, it continues to be great. And the thing that baffles me is the fact that this movie was shot during quarantine, when literally no one can go outside. And there were times when Matt Reeves was like literally directing from a megaphone far as fuck, or like through headsets. Robert Pattinson also literally got COVID like halfway through the shoot, and they had to like stop filming for 2 months. So it's a crazy, this film's road to like releasing is genuinely insane. Also, this is a random plug, but I go to Full Sail University, the film school, college. It's fire. A bunch of people from Full Sail worked on this movie. Just want to say that. Awesome work, you guys. But like literally on a technical level, there's shots in this movie that literally leave me in awe. Like, so many shots. I have this idea at a certain point in my life, once I get like a big enough house, I want to just frame shots from my favorite movies and put them around. The Batman might have a good 3 to 4 shots that are just chilling around my house. I'm not gonna lie. I love the way this movie looks cinematically. It's so fucking like breathtaking at times. But besides all the technical stuff, the sound design, the shot, especially the cinematography, the performances just sell this movie entirely. Pattinson puts his all into almost everything. I knew when I saw The Lighthouse And I knew when I saw Good Time, because I got introduced to Robert Pattinson because of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I actually never really saw Twilight. I knew of Twilight, but I kind of just made fun of it in passing. I might watch Twilight jokingly for the meme of it at some point. But Robert Pattinson is just one of those actors that to me is genuinely fucking amazing. When Mickey 17 comes out, expect a review of that. Me and Robert Pattinson, I genuinely just, he also just seems like such a cool person. Like literally, he puts so much into his performances. He literally said between, like, after he finished Twilight, he said, bro, I just want to play weirdos for a good 10 years of my acting career. And he did that, and he was so good at that Matt Reeves saw him in Good Time and was like, I need that man to be Batman. There were a lot of people hating on the internet when he got casted as Batman, but I would like to say that from the get-go, I knew he would be a perfect Batman. Like I said, from the minute I saw The Lighthouse, Good Time, all the shit he was doing, Pattinson blew it out of the water. So Pattinson, he's the main driving force of this movie because it's literally all in his back. He is the Batman, so he needs to sell every part of this, and he fucking goes insane. Besides him, though, Jeffrey Wright goes crazy as Commissioner Gordon. Batman and Gordon have like an almost such a buddy-buddy relationship. It's just really fun to watch them interact on screen because, like, genuinely, their relationship is almost touching at points in the movie because, like, they really have each other's backs. And Gordon doesn't trust that many people, clearly, because the police department of Gotham is so corrupt. All he can really trust is this lunatic Batman. So him and Batman and their connection fuels a lot of this movie and fuels a lot of the more enjoyable aspects of it. The whole thing of the movie, thematically, which I love, is it's all about Bruce's journey from, like, dedicating himself to making himself a big ass symbol of fear for criminals to be scared of. He's so focused on driving fear into the hearts of the criminals of Gotham, he almost becomes a part of the problem. The Riddler's reflection of the problem with the Batman until he decides to change it is completely perfect, because the Riddler literally exemplifies what happens when trauma takes over a person, and when a person is nothing but their trauma and expresses that in vengeance, which is what Batman is. Batman, the way I interpret Batman in this movie specifically, I interpret Batman as, it's literally just clearly Batman is a characterization of Bruce's trauma, almost like the Hulk with Bruce Banner. Bruce takes his trauma and uses that as a weapon almost to drive fear into the hearts of the people who literally terrorize the city, the same hearts of those people who took his parents from him, basically. But in doing that, he forgets to lead those who are affected by that away from their trauma and to help them. And becoming a weapon, like, he all he does is reinforce that same trauma on people. People are just scared of Batman. They don't go out at night. No, at the beginning of the movie, no Gotham citizen would go out at night and actively look forward to seeing the Batman. When they get jumped in an alley, they see the Batman and they run away because they're like, holy shit, that's so terrifying, I don't want to be near that. By the end of the film, it comes full circle, and it's not like Batman still doesn't terrify criminals, he does. But to the people, the innocent people who are just traumatized by these events, Batman is a symbol of hope. And that's important as fuck, because a lot of people tend to forget this, but Batman is a hero. And heroes, whether you like them or not, are supposed to be symbols of hope. They're supposed to drive people. They're supposed to be the best versions of us, essentially. And Batman grows so much, and Robert Pattinson portrays that so well. Every part of this movie portrays that so well. And in all honesty, besides everything I just listed, this movie, like, consistently aura farms. And what I mean by that is it almost effortlessly just builds sauce. You know when a movie has sauce? Like, there's just cool factor. You're watching it and you're like, yo, all I have to say is the scene with the Batmobile, and you'll know exactly what I mean. The amount of sauce that is present in that scene alone, dude, I don't even know how, I can't put it into words. You watch the movie and you know what I mean. If you like Batman especially, I remember literally sitting in the theater as soon the opening scene, one of my best friends, this guy named Jeremiah, love him to death. Opening scene of the movie comes by, right? I'm watching it. I'm like a sophomore in high school. Me and all of my friends are there because I dragged them to see it, of course, because I'm a nerd, and they have to be nerds with me, even if they don't want to be. We're there in the theater, right? The opening scene plays. Riddler kills the mayor, and my friend Jeremiah spills Coca-Cola all over his pants. That was my fault. I bumped into him. My fault, Jeremiah. But after that, when he comes back from the bathroom after wiping his stuff like down, the opening monologue of the movie starts. And I kid you not, the moment I heard Robert Pattinson's voice say like the first two lines, I knew I was gonna love the movie. And I know that makes me a shill, and that makes me like so fucking like that just shows you how big of a Batman fan I am. But overall, I think Robert Pattinson, he's my favorite Batman. and he's gonna be my favorite Batman for a minute, maybe until I watch the animated series. But overall, cinematically at least, I could say that Robert Pattinson is literally my favorite take on the character. Everything that Matt Reeves did with it, and everything that Robert Pattinson did with the performance was terrific, bro. I can't, oh my god, I could geek out about it for hours. Okay, overall though, I literally put everything I wanted to say about this movie into words. I love this movie a lot, if you can't tell, and this video is ridiculously long already, so I'm gonna rate this movie an obvious rating of fucking 10 out of 10, because I think this movie on almost every level is perfect, for me at least, right? You don't have to agree with that, it's up to you, honestly. Form your own opinion on it. I always encourage that, but to be honest, this movie's perfect to me, and I don't think anything or anyone will ever ruin that. So Matt Reeves, the Batman, gets 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10, whatever the fuck you want to say for a movie that's really fucking awesome and really just, whoa, great movie. And before I end the video off, I just want to say DC is on a crazy run right now. They're sweeping Marvel. And honestly, Superman better be good as shit. And I know it's going to be good as shit because I love James Gunn. Anyways, that'll be a story for another day, aka when the Superman movie comes out. Anyways, Matt Reeves Batman, amazing. All right. Outro time. Hey, okay, so if you enjoyed the review, thank you, I guess. You made it this far, so you must have liked it a little bit. Or not, I'm not sure. I'm not you. Anyways, things you should do now. If you want, you can like. If you want, you can subscribe. It's up to you. If you want to see more content like this, I would do both those things, so yeah. I also have short films, which I've made, because like I said, I'm a filmmaker. And there's some skits on there, too, if you want to check those out. More movie reviews, and a lot more coming soon. So check everything out if you want to. I don't mind. But yeah, besides that, if you want to, you can check out my Instagram, which contains teasers for like upcoming films, stuff I'm working on, stuff like that. Or you can check out my goddamn Letterboxd, which is an app where you review movies and whatnot. You probably knew that already. Why am I'm sorry. But yeah, my Letterboxd contains movie reviews that I write almost immediately after I see a movie. Literally, the credits will start rolling. I will pull out my phone and type out a review. I'm pretty addicted to it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to do. And if you want to check those out, you can. It's up to you. But at the end of the day, you have free will, man. So you do you. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. And I'm going to go leave and rewatch The Batman for like the 10th time. You probably should too. Probably not 10 times. I'm like just addicted to it. But yeah, Batman is awesome. And you're awesome for watching this video. So yeah. What am I? Have a good one. I was trying to do the Professor X thing, but it's fine. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.